Good afternoon. I'm your host, Terrain Morrow, and welcome to the ER, a platform for the world to share its story in order to bring hope to people all around the world, that the world may know that it's not alone in confusion and suffering. Also, to bring an end to the waste of life and to promote mental well-being. Good afternoon, guys. We are live. We are live. We are live. It's so great to see you guys again. It's so great to be here again. We are live here. We're in Petersburg, Virginia. We're right here in my city to be. How y'all doing today? I hope everyone is well today on this happy Sunday. We live, man. It's been a little minute. I think the last time I seen y'all, it was inauguration. That was the last time I seen y'all. It was inauguration as far as going live on the news platform. And so, yeah, Donald Trump's inauguration. That was the last time we was live in D.C. So, but we're back. We're going to keep this thing going. We're going to keep this news platform going. ER is a nonprofit organization, but we have a live news platform. I did a talk show before, like a couple years ago. So it's a nonprofit organization. We're here to support all people. We're here to bring hope through all facets and all avenues, the ER. We're here to bring hope. We're here to encourage you. We're here to end the waste of life. We're tired of people wasting their lives away. We're tired of people dying. We're tired of people's dreams, people not achieving their dreams, not accomplishing their dreams. We're tired of people not having help. We're tired of people fading away. That's what the ER is, y'all. And what this show is about today, I've been doing these shows. Okay, let's decompress. I've been doing these shows. What this show is about today, I was like, I've been just going in people's faces. I do my little motto in the beginning. And I was like, do people really understand what's going on? How many people are actually going back and looking at the lives in the show? So I'm doing this show specifically to restate. I took notes. I said, I'm going to be careful with y'all today. I'm going to be careful, very careful in particular with y'all today. I took notes to slow me down because y'all know I get to talking fast. So I took notes today. Why am I here today? And what is this all about? So in this show in particular, I'm going to tell y'all, why am I here? Why did we create this platform, the ER? So I'm going to tell y'all all about the origin. I've done it before on a live talk show, but I didn't really explain it like I'm going to explain today. Today's show is all about the ER and why did the ER get started? Why did I decide to start the ER? Y'all ready? So let's get into it. Bottom line up front on why Terrain Demond Morrow decided to start the ER. The first point, bottom line up front, is bluff. Bottom line up front, bluff. Used in the military, bluff. To change the world. I've seen a lot of bad things and wrong things. It ain't got to be necessarily bad, but just bad and wrong and not necessarily just ain't good enough. It ain't necessarily got to be bad. I just seen a lot of stuff that ain't good enough and that I wanted to change. I want to change the world. And then I just threw this last part in here. I got to talk about, I'm doing this for me too. I didn't even realize it until today when I was sitting in church. I was like, I'm doing everything that I'm doing. No, it wasn't today. It was yesterday I started to kind of come to the realization of it, but I'm doing this for me. I like attention. I guess it's what I feel like I need to be doing. I like attention. I guess I like attention. Positive attention. No, it is. I feel like I have something to say and I like to be heard. There we go. That's a better way to put it. I like to be heard, so I like attention. There we go. Back to it. So, but I'm going to explain to you today, how did I come to create this platform? And why do I think I want to change the world? And why am I doing this platform to change the world? And I'm going to explain it by telling you my story again. I've told my story on a talk show, but now I'm going to do it live today on the ER news platform. And it's a story. The ER is all about getting stories. This news platform is all about getting stories. I'm going out trying to talk to people. Hey, come tell me your story. But let me tell you my story live. I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do it one time, full detail, as detailed as I can. Tell you why I'm doing this platform. So if y'all ever want to go back and know why I'm doing everything I'm doing, go back to this episode. Go back to this one right here. March 25th, 2025. Go back to this episode right here. Ooh, May 25th, 2025. Go back to this episode right here. Go back to this episode right here. And so, before I get going, so remember this. So as I was getting my hair cut, getting ready for the show, I was sitting in the barber chair, looked up at the TV, and found out today, and this is very significant, because I'm going to break down my story in 3 parts. And so I'm going to break down my story in 3 parts. Let's go to parts before I say what I'm finna say. I'm going to break down my story in 3 parts. I'm telling you why I believe I need to be doing this platform to help change the world. So 3 parts. It's Madison, Arkansas. That's Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And the last part of my story on how the ER came about was George Floyd. George Floyd was a very significant part on the ER coming into existence. It's in existence. Whether it goes, whether it goes anywhere, it was created. And George Floyd was a very big part of that. So now back to my story. While I was sitting in the barber chair getting my hair cut, I looked up at the news. I didn't know this, because I don't think I watched the news all year. I was just looking by and seeing it, whatever. But today marks 5 years since George Floyd was murdered. Today. So when I picked this day to get the, so I ain't did the platform since the inauguration. That was all the way back in January. So it's almost 4 months later. An organization, a business that I'm supposed to have running. I picked some other dates too. I supposed to have been doing this like 2 or 3 weeks ago, getting it back going, but that didn't happen because of life, mental health, and whatever going on. But I'm sitting in the barber chair. I picked this date, not thinking nothing about George Floyd. And when I was making my notes earlier, though, George Floyd was in my notes. I always knew about George Floyd. I always gave him credit. In my mind, I know where this platform, because I'm going to explain it to you. But the date, though, is 5 years of when he was murdered, y'all. And I didn't know that when I picked this date. And so I was like, man, because I've been constantly getting discouraged on what I should do it. But when I was sitting in that chair, I was like, man, today was the day George Floyd was murdered. And he was like the founder. Help me found this order. George Floyd helped me. How you doing, Pearl? George Floyd. Ashley, how you doing, baby? George Floyd helped me found this organization, pretty much. And today was the 5-year anniversary of his death. And so I was like, I'm not going to change the date this time. I'm not going to let depression get me down this time. But remember that I said that. Today was 5 years. So we're going to talk about George Floyd again. George Floyd is going to come back. We're going to bring that back up. So right now, what's going on, Pearl? I'm finna tell y'all my story on why I started the ER. Pretty much the origin of the ER, why. And so I said, pretty much I started the ER to change the world and for me. Just remember that. The reason why I started the ER, not just the news platform, but the ER as an organization, was to change the world and for me. So now we're finna talk about that through my story. 3 parts. Madison, Arkansas. Where I'm from, where I grew up from, it's a place. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where I went to school in George Floyd. Okay, let's talk about Madison, Arkansas, y'all. This is the story about Terrain Morrow and why he started the ER, how he grew up and what made him start a news platform, his own news platform. So the first bullet point is Madison, Arkansas. Madison, Arkansas is where I grew up from. Where I grew up. Not from where I'm from, where I grew up. And so I started the story with that because I want y'all to know how I grew up and how I was raised. And like I said, I've talked about this stuff before, but I specifically wanted to share the love and the grace that I got in my life. So I grew up a little boy, started out with my godparent, right? But I found out, though, I was staying with my daddy. My mother was on drugs. So I was staying with my daddy, but even at the time, I think my daddy sold drugs at the time. And so, but I was staying with him, staying with my godparents, whatever going on, situations going on. And fast forward, I ended up staying with my grandmother. So I'm a grandma's boy. So boom, I'm a grandma's boy. Fast forward, which so I'm gonna fast forward throughout. I'm a grandma's boy, but my daddy was around. My mama was around. Despite what she did, she was around. My daddy was around. He used to take me and my cousins and my nephews to the country. He was a farmer. So he used to grow watermelon, cantaloupe. So my dad used to take me to the country and all this stuff. We on the back of the truck. Man, the kids riding on the back of the truck. Nobody ever fell down, no say, cause we might be respecting my daddy. And so we all riding down the back of the truck, get dropped off in the country, running wild and free, not worrying about nobody kidnapping us or nothing. And just doing whatever we want, pretty much running, and it was fresh fruit on the trees, y'all. Man, how many of y'all ever? So I'm trying to tell y'all about me. So this part is all about, I'm trying to tell y'all about the love that I got and the grace that I got. Y'all got to pay very close attention to this part. It sounds small, but to me, some of all these small things that I got as a child, right? And as my whole child, I had a great childhood. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Although my mama was on drugs, although I didn't stay with my daddy, although I was raised by my grandma, although I had alcohol around me, all this was around me. I had alcoholics in my family, drug crackheads used to stay in our house and steal from my grandma. They used to clean up for her, but she'll let them back in. You remember I talked about my grandma? I said they showed me forgiveness. My grandma, I learned forgiveness from my grandma because people used to treat her bad, take from her. And she forgave them. Next thing they was back in, she was cooking for them again, doing stuff for them again. I got that. And I seen the beautiful part and nature of life, the very small things. Like, so after we was in the field as kids, my dad got through working and cropping up and harvesting up the crops. He'll call us over to the field and he'll bust open a watermelon off the vine that was ready, boom. A cantaloupe cut up, boom, straight off the vine. Pretty good. My dad used to grow some good watermelons. He used to sell them out of his car. Oh, and yeah, oh, yes. So yeah. So I got, figs. I've ate a fresh fig. Y'all ever heard of fig Newtons? But me personally ate the fresh off the tree. I've ate the fig off the tree. You get what I'm saying? That might be small to y'all. That's very significant to me because it's going to sum up what I'm coming to, because I've learned that there's really nothing more important in life than a small thing. Than nature and what's already this God done given to you, the people around you and everything that's already given. It only sucks because everybody trying to take it or misuse it or whatever. You don't know how to use it. But fast forward. Okay. My story. I'm getting to why I started the ER. Why this young country boy. So I'm a country boy from Arkansas, Madison, Forest City, Arkansas. This is where I'm from. I'm a country boy. One high school, right? This is my Madison, Arkansas. This is all the same. I'm going to finish. Oh, is it still going? Oh, still going. Okay. I'm still in here. So I'm a country boy, right? So I got all this good, Fred, what up, bro? I got all this good small country stuff, and then in my neighborhood it was safe. When I was like 5 years old. We'd get out of school, I was able to go outside in my yard, didn't worry about it, and I was able to go out into the park. Tell my grandma, and nobody was worried about it because there was always kids in my neighborhood, cousins, everybody knew it was safe. There's kids stuck. That's why I'm telling you, there's kids stuck in their house today. They can't go outside. They can't go out in their neighborhoods. Can't go out in their streets. That's why I'm saying all this stuff. There's people that ain't never ate a fresh fruit in their life, and they hate watermelon. They don't know that it's good. Whatever. Each to each his own. Let's fast forward. So I got all this good, precious love in my life. The only thing my daddy ever told me to do, the only thing my grandma ever told me to do is respect people. Stay out of trouble. What you doing, boy? Put that down. Hey, who you talking to? You talking to the dust wrong? One time I called myself finna get up and hit my mama as a 7, 8-year-old boy. My dad called my daddy. First of all, my mama would knock me out anyway. I didn't know my mama was an OG fist. She had a big old fist, but yeah, I didn't know that about my mama. I heard the story about I was a young boy gonna trap my mama. She would have had me out, but they said they bagged me up. Nobody did nothing to me that was in the house. They called my daddy. We waiting on my daddy. And they say it got handled. So my dad was always there. So that's why I can't say I grew up without my dad. I can't say I grew up with my mama. Despite what they did, the love was there. That's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to show you I had a loving childhood. Now let me show you what happened. First of all, 6th grade, right? 6th grade. I was at one point, I grew up churchy. And so in 6th grade, remember this, 6th grade, I tried to pick up the Bible and read it. So I was a Christian man. So I grew up a Christian boy. They told me, got baptized and whatever. So I grew up a Christian. So I'm not separating religions. This ain't no religious platform. I want Muslims, Buddhists, Christians. I want all of y'all. And I'm not consider myself no Christian. So just put it out there. I'm just saying. So in 6th grade, I tried to pick up the Bible, read it from the beginning. I was too young, didn't understand the words. So I put it down, closed it, never picked it back up again till I get later. So fast forward from the childhood, the love. So by the time I got to high school, I started getting in trouble. So fast forward. So I got the loving childhood. So you got this little boy that has everything. We were pretty much considered poor, but I had everything that you see on TV that a child should have, far as the small things and living a good childhood life, going to the playground, playing outside, eating off trees. A lot of kids don't never even do that. That was something different. That's something different within itself. So my daddy there. If I need anything, he's there. Get my mama's there. If I need it, she did her drug. But if I actually asked my mama for something, my mama would give it to me. There's a thing about her. She did her little thing, but if I asked my mama, you had to slow it down. If you stopped her, say she got some money. I'm just saying that. Say my mama got some money for her drugs, and you catched her. Mama, give me some money. She'll get so mad. This is my mama. She finna go get the drugs. What? Get the money. And she 100. So mama, I love my mom. I don't care if she was a crackhead or what y'all call it, crackhead. I don't care. I love my mama to death. I look up to my mama. So crackhead ain't bad to me. I love crackhead. So that's my mama. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't judge people. So a big part of my childhood that I got, if you don't understand, was not judging people, because everybody was all in my circle. My grandma, my daddy had everybody in our circle, and nobody judged nobody. No, because everybody, the communication was good. Everybody communicated. Everybody respected one another. And that's why it worked. And I got it. So a big part of my childhood that I got is respect. So fast forward, high school, got a little older, started feeling myself, started getting in trouble, got in the streets. So this is where God came in. And this is where the stem of the ER really. So God been working on it. But this is where the stem of it came from, where they're like, okay, hey, when it's the, hey, man, I'm calling you. So fast forward, I'm getting in trouble, 9th grade and all that stuff. Got kicked out of school, high school. Got kicked out of high school, 9th grade, y'all. This is Terrain Morrow, whoever you know me as. I got kicked out of high school, 9th grade, 10th grade. Was about to get kicked out of high school, 11th grade. But I got the crying in front of the principal, called my mama, daddy up there, counselor. I was getting the counseling and stuff, and the principal was like, "Give me one more chance." The thing I was about to get kicked out of school for, well, I didn't even do it. It was just because I was always in trouble. Nobody did. They said I did it. I was about to get kicked out. I was in that principal's office crying. She said the wrong thing, y'all. She said the wrong thing, but the right thing. She said, "I'll give you one more chance." This is me, a young man, 11th grade. My principal said, because I wanted to do something I wanted to play football. I played football in 6th grade too. So I stopped playing after 6th grade, and I never played again. So all high school, I'm like, I want to be a football player, because all I want to do was I wanted to be an NFL player. So I ain't played football. I ain't even played in high school. So I'm like, if I get kicked out of school again, my grades was always good. So the grades weren't an issue. Man, she said the wrong thing, y'all. Miss Abby Robinson, Forest City High School. She told this young man, as he was crying in front of his counselor, principal, daddy, only thing my mom was there, grandma, we're going to give you one more chance. She said, you're going to give me one more chance. Bro, I haven't. So just to know what that did, I went from a young man from being in trouble all the time, all high school. I just said school. I was getting in trouble in the streets, y'all. I was stealing from stores. I was going to lockups. I was too young to go to jail, so I was going to lockups. But I was hanging with some other type of crowds. You know what I'm saying? They have some high people influencing us. You know what I'm saying? They can make us do some things that whether we want to do them or not, you got to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I was involved with all that. You know what I'm saying? But God showed me grace that day, and so fast forward, that happened. Miss Abby Robinson said, "I'm gonna give you one more chance." I ain't been in trouble until last year. I ain't been in trouble since I'm 33 years old. I turned 34 next month. I haven't been in trouble. So that's over 20 some years of not being in trouble. Yeah, I got in trouble last year. Over 20 some years of not being in trouble from one woman saying, "I give you one more chance." Miss Abby Robinson. I'm saying her name again. Miss Abby Robinson, Forest City High School. She said, "I'm going to give you one more chance, young man." There was a young man that was in the streets. Never got mad. So fast forward from that, and come on. I was still looking for something. I wasn't getting in trouble, but I still wanted to play football. I still was in the streets though. Still not like being bad in the streets, but we still hanging with the boys, doing our thing, not preparing for graduation and all the things I said I want to do, right? Then one day, remember I told y'all 6th grade I tried to read the Bible. So that same 11th grade year, I was staying in Rice and Main project, Rice and Main apartment. We didn't call it no project. I walked through the door, my room door. I'm all the way through the house. As soon as I opened my room door, I had a vision of me sitting at my table in the 6th grade reading my Bible, trying to read the Bible. Man, I picked up the same Bible, my grandma's Bible. Like I dropped my book that same day, that same moment. Had the vision, like something took over my body, picked up the Bible, opened it up from Genesis again. Read it for like whatever I wanted to read, wasn't rushing or nothing. I don't know if I was in a trance. Not really. I was just doing it like you're hungry for, like you've been missing this. Like, why have you not been picking this up? Like, it was like that. And then I prayed. God, out loud, God deliver me from this. God deliver me from that. He actually spoke in tongues one day. It scared me. God deliver me from this. And man, everything I was asking for, or God, or universe, or what I was speaking to, existence or not, it started happening. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm dang near scared to pray at this point, because I can't think of nothing that I have asked God for that hasn't happened, or even things that I've said. There's a lot of things I've said, not even praying for, that has happened. I'm almost getting scared to talk. And so fast forward, y'all. So that moment, the 11th grade, I became a Christian. So this is where everything is finna come circle. And this is where so now it's now you know when you write a story or write a movie, so you got the climax. Here come the climax. This is where things get hyped up. I became a Christian. So this is where things get all messed up for me. So me becoming a Christian, and I wasn't even going to church at the time. So let me tell you about my Christian relationship. When I became a Christian, I was in the streets, hanging with the boys, doing whatever the heck I want to do. My grandma let me do what I want to do. I could bring girls over, drinkers. I could do it, hanging with the boys, as long as I respected people. Because everybody around me do it. Whatever I said, only thing my family really gave me was love, forgiveness, and respect. But everybody did their thing around them. I seen people do crack, everything. Yeah, this boy. Because a lot of y'all know me as a churchy boy. That's what I'm saying. But no, I've been around crackheads. I've been around the drugs. You get what I'm saying? And so, 11th grade, I became a Christian. Probably the biggest mistake the world could have made, because it was just me and the Bible and me all by myself getting this intimate relationship with God and learning about God, the Genesis God, and learning about how he saved and doing these great wonders, casting the seat, calling to people, seeking out people where the heart's at. There's a God that walks over the earth, searching for a heart that is desperate. Y'all remember in Genesis, God said he couldn't find no one good in earth. Then it's how he found Noah. I was like, man, I became a Christian, learning about all this good God. And then by the time I got to Leviticus or Numbers, I was like, there's too many names and too many laws. I stopped. And then I started jumping over to the New Testament now. But by this time, I think I was going back to church. So by that time, I was a senior. And now I'm a senior. I'm playing football now. I'm in the sports. I'm going to church every Sunday. You get what I'm saying? I'm a senior. We staying in Madison, Arkansas. I'm a senior, bro. And just doing my thing. Also, all this time, I was just going to church. I wasn't praying. I was praying for people, in my own little silent thing, but I wasn't going out witnessing to nobody. I wasn't going out. I was just a Christian, just living a good Christian cycle life of just praying, going to church, praying, going to church. Hey, brother, ain't really too much of brother you need. It's some of that. If people ask, if people ask, they'll sometimes give it to them, but ain't no people. There's a lot of people just looking at you, see you suffering, man. You don't need nothing. But you get what I'm saying? So, 12th grade, I'm a Christian. Cornerstone Missionary Baptist Church. I'm a Christian, going to church every Sunday, reading my Bible. I'm clockwork. You talking about some discipline? I was thinking about a time in my life where I had discipline. So I was in the military for 10 years. But the most disciplined time of my life was this time. From 11, so the day I picked up that Bible, my 11th grade year, to all the way probably till I was like a sophomore in college in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. There was discipline. I was doing my schoolwork, studying. Y'all remember me in Pine Bluff when I was just studying late at night, and I was still praying, going to church, and singing in the choir. I was doing all that like clockwork. Discipline. So how did I lose? I lost that, y'all. I lost that. So now we finna go into the second part. Now we about to go into the second part. Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So how did Terrain Morrow lose all that discipline? But we still talking about how I wanted to start the ER to change the world. So I started the ER to change the world, and I started the ER for me. So and by saying I'm going to share my story to kind of let y'all feel like I want y'all to feel what I feel, because it seems like a lot of people, it's hard for people to understand where I'm coming from. Y'all don't get the message yet, because at the end, I'm going to say something at the end. I think well, I don't know what I'm going to say at the end of this, but I think I'm going to say something at the end. And so I'm trying to slow down. However, I don't care how long this show, it's mine. I can go as long as I want. Instagram cut me off. So, from Madison, Arkansas to part 1, I'm still on part 1. I'm finna go to part 2. It showed me love, safety, and respect for others, and how real love and how family. It showed me union. It showed me community. If there was ever community, my childhood had community. So we can go eat at the neighbor's house. Kids can go walk down the street and be safe and not worry about nobody snatching them up. That alone is the community enough. The neighbors could whoop me. When I was growing up, I was getting I was a 90s baby. I was getting paddlings in school. We would literally be walking home as little kids, 5, 6 years old. My house was next door. We would be acting up. They'll say, stay in line, don't act up. We was act up, just a little bit act up, but don't do something right out of line. The walker would turn us right back around. She knew our mama. Everybody knew everybody. She would take all of us back in there, all of us get a pallet from the principal. Or her. They didn't discriminate. They didn't like abuse us. It was just something like, hey, discipline. So I didn't get my discipline until 11th grade when I picked up my Bible. I didn't even know that until I just said it. So my moment my discipline started was 11th grade, because my grandma and them, they pretty much let me that all it was, just respect others. And that was significant, because what I learned. So in the end of this, I'm pretty much going to tell y'all that what my belief is now, that we're gods and there's no laws, no rules other than to respect the people around you and don't hurt yourself. That's kind of how my forgiveness and community is really all you have. If you don't got that community or that household structure or that family structure, that trinity, you don't have nothing. Because when you break all spirituality and religion and everything down, we ain't nothing but gods. That's what they say, what the Bible says. So if you gods, there ain't no rules, there ain't no laws. So the only thing you have is my brother next to me. Hey, got my back. So all you have is battle buddy. You got my back. So that's why the family's for. You get your wife. It's so people get married. How you marry somebody and got your back? They don't love you. They ain't fighting for you. That's some other story for some relationship. But part 2, y'all, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So part 1, I got my discipline. I became a Christian and I got discipline. Part 2 was Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So when I first got to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, I remember my first day at Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It was the only school I wanted to go to. I was smiling, y'all. So I've been smiling all my life. If people say, when y'all people that know me, I've been smiling all my life. And I never knew why I was smiling. I really still don't. So I used to be a badass little kid. Remember one of them badass little kids? I forgot I was a badass little kid too. Remember the badass that smile, but then had it like, but no, I didn't have my hand. I was like, I smiled at you like I did it, but what we gonna do next? One of those little kids. That's how it was, right? Whew. So Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So my first day at Pine Bluff, Arkansas, smiling, left ear, right ear. I brought the sun out. That's how bad I was smiling. That's how big my smile was. Y'all, the smile y'all see now ain't the smile I had in Pine Bluff, Arkansas when I was a fresh Christian. So remember, before I went to Pine Bluff, I was just in my hometown, just going to church, singing in the choir, wasn't preaching to nobody, wasn't really going to, hey brother, let me pray for you, wasn't doing none of that. It was all in the silence of my home, church boy. Get to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So one thing about me, and this is one thing good to know about me. I don't care about walking. I like bumping into everything. So I'm always looking at when I was at Pine Bluff, I'll be looking at all the posters on the wall, because I got where I got looking and searching. I'm be looking at everything. I see posters. Don't walk by no poster board with me with a bunch of posters. I might want to sit there because like what jobs are out there? What's going on? What internships are out there? Because I got an internship. My college, before I came to college, I got an internship. They was telling us in our career service, don't get one your freshman year after college. I got one after my freshman year. You get what I'm saying? The information, right? But that's long story short. That ain't what I'm here for. Pine Bluff. So this Christian, young, new, fresh Christian man, smile with like 3 years in the game, smiling left and right from ear to ear, happened to be on the HBCU with all the girls and all the people. But I was faithful for God. And so one thing, when you're a Christian, remember this. When you become a Christian, remember there's a thing about being sex before marriage, right? You remember? So I was, So in 11th grade, so back in high school, I was a bad boy. I was also into pornography. Oh yeah, people do be telling their story like that. I think Michael Todd, somebody addicted to pornography. So I was one of those two, addicted to pornography. It wasn't addicted to pornography. It was like just the horniness and masturbating and all this stuff. So one of those things I prayed for God for back in when I got so close to intimate God, like God help me get away from the porn. I stopped cussing too, but help me to get away from the porn. It happened. So I'm so old. I gotta tell y'all more about that, cause that's gonna hit home too later on. So my daddy has over 17 some kids. So all my life, 20 some kids. So pretty much, everybody knew my daddy. Hey boy, and they see me. Hey boy, so all my life, go get the girls. And matter of fact, it wasn't just my daddy. All the young men and boys in my neighborhood, most of the boys I raised up around, go get the girls. Go get some little kitty cat. We was like, look, 9-year-old trying to go get some booty cat. You get what I'm saying? So we was horny little boys. So all my life, I was a horny little boy. And so I'm going to say this, all my life, I was a horny little boy. And y'all know how them sexual cravings be, right? Sexual cravings be, right? So I let that go for God, y'all. I let that go for God. So that's an important part about that Madison, Arkansas part of me becoming a Christian. Then now I'm at a HBCU. It didn't really matter because I wasn't thinking about girls when I got there. I was really just what God has for me. So I was really real about it. What God has out there for me. I wasn't thinking about girls. But when I seen them sometimes, and when I won, and God wasn't really over me like, dang, girls. I was like, ooh, I want her. Especially when we started having them girlfriends, get a little frisky, start holding each other dead. Oh, them demons. And I didn't want to masturbate. I prayed for God to get rid of it, masturbate. I didn't pray about sex though. I didn't say God deliver me and help me to stop having sex. I didn't think about those prayers. I said stop me masturbating. And I wouldn't masturbate for nothing. But man, fast forward. So I got involved with the Christian group, the Baptist Collegiate Ministry. So this is a fresh Christian on a black college. And he's a Christian man, so he's searching other Christian people. I see the Black Collegiate Ministry. So just like Terrain, his old Terrain fashion, walking in all the doors, looking at all the posters, Terrain walked through this door. And found out, so what that led to was discipleship. So in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, what did this Christian learn? Discipleship. I learned it all. Not only as a Christian, you're supposed to do good and have discipline, you're supposed to go out there and get other people and bring them on to be a Christian. I was like, what, God? I was like, oh, snap. God, you got some work for me all this time? So now we really praying for people. So now I'm raising money to go. So fast forward I'm BCM. I'm finna speed through Pine Bluff. So fast forward to Pine Bluff. I'm now raising money for God. I'm raising me and some other groups of guys are raising money for God to go on a mission trip for God. Just go preach the gospel of Jesus Christ. Now, I ain't saying, let's say Jesus. Now we're raising money for Jesus. Over $2,000 something for college students who ain't got no money. We raised the money, asking people for church, and now we're going to go preach gospel and hate it. Yeah, I've been to hate it, just go share Jesus. And so, just remember that. Let's just give y'all my background. Now, so when I wrote part 2, on a note I put confusion. So the saddest part about Pine Bluff, what happened to me at Pine Bluff, or where it started at, confusion. So why the ER? So this is the home of the ER right here, or why the ER started. Confusion. So you got this fresh Christian boy in church, really call himself living for God. I call myself living for God. Then I got the Pine Bluff, going, sharing gospel, sharing Jesus, and then I call myself living for Jesus. So that whole time during Pine Bluff, me doing all these good things, not having sex, and not only me, it was about 15 of us or 20 of us. And out of that group, I know at least like 5 of them or 6 of them never had sex. And it's a couple of them that, like 3 of them that waited till they got married. And I know probably for sure I put some money on it. About 2 of them are still virgins now. And like I said, they're older. I'm 30 something. So imagine a 35-year-old virgin, because they're just waiting on Jesus, waiting on that white person. So we all these virgins and people just going to church every Sunday, having Bible studies, going out, discipling people, bringing them in. Come in, y'all. Come in. Pray for me. Man, confusion. We brought them in. And why was there confusion? Because one of those things I ran into at Pine Bluff was the very first confusion thing I ran into. I met this brother. He was a 7-day Adventist. So y'all know with the Christians, there's a bunch of different sects within the Christian. Well, not sects. There's a bunch of different denominations. You have Church of God in Christ, Methodists, Catholics, all of them. You get what I'm saying? And so I ran into the 7-day Adventist. Man, I grew up Baptist, but my Baptist church, Cornerstone didn't teach me it's all about the Baptists. Baptist. It was all about family with us at Cornerstone, but I get there, I'm chilling with this brother. We in the Bible. You know, I was really into the Bible, learning about God. So he was another one of them brothers. We read, we chilling and stuff. I'm going to his church. So I'm going to church on Sunday, 7-day Adventist on Saturday. So I'm going to church both days. I guess because I'm so faithful and consistent. This brother, his pastor told me one day, hey brother, since you know the truth right now, y'all never told me about the Sabbath. That was the first thing. All I see y'all do ceremonies, and I know y'all stop working and whatever eating sometimes when it's before dark. That's all. Y'all never said. No, y'all never gave me the fanatics of the Sabbath. We think me and this brother talking about discipleship, Jesus, like, and so they told me I was wrong because I was going to church on Saturday and Sunday. Confusion. And so another Baptist, I jumped around to all churches. I was going to all the churches. No church ever held me down. So then I started seeing it not only happening to me, I seen it happen to other people. Confusion. I had seen ladies leave good churches because of Church of God in Christ or whichever church say we the only church that you're supposed to go to. Any other church, you're going to hell. No matter if you're living a good life or whatever, or you're a good community. No, this denomination is a Christian denomination out there that says if you don't go to our church, you're going to hell anyway. Matter you believe in Christ died, just because Christ said this is the church I build my rock on. There's a lot of crazy stuff out there. When I was in Haiti, this is kind of so about it. When I went to Haiti, I was a senior, and this is kind of too when I started. So my senior year in UAPB, y'all, all my UAPB family, if y'all didn't know, this Christian boy had sex his senior year. So my senior year, I had some sex. Yeah, I didn't break to my senior year. Finally had some sex. But so that time though, senior year, finally had some sex. What we talking about? Pine Bluff confusion. And so confusion. I seen a lot of people confused. What else? I lost my train of thought. Church of God in Christ. But Haiti. Yeah, I was in Haiti. I went to Haiti, raised this money, and women over there were saying, we are not going to church because we ain't got dresses. The women over there, or the churches over there in Haiti, were turning the women around because they didn't have dresses, right? That's in America too. You know that, right? You know where they get that from. America, right? There's churches over here like that. Yeah. And so much for come as you are. So Pine Bluff showed me a bunch of love and discipleship and confusion. So let me tell y'all something about, back up. Discipleship. If y'all don't know nothing about what discipleship and what they're teaching these young people and discipleship, so let me tell y'all what we was being mesmerized with. Because half of them people there, I went to college with, I was talking about Christians and virgins, and some of them still virgin, but some of them still confused as hell about God right now. I'm confused as hell about God right now. I'm getting to that point. We ain't got there yet. I'm showing you where I got confused at, where my confusion started. Because I was just going hard, running, I guess, some type of damn fumes. It was just the spirit carrying me. But we got, let's keep talking. Oh, man. But yes. So Pine Bluff showed me confusion and discipleship. So I was telling y'all about discipleship. So what we was being, so discipleship, y'all. Man, we was singing songs like, Thistle, I signed up to die. They put that boy up in the shed. So we was singing songs. So that song in particular was a song, a gospel Christian rapper talking about these families and these people overseas going, signing up for these mission trips, going over there and saying, and there's people over there like, we don't want that Christian stuff over there. So if you talk about that over here, we're going to kill you. And so this song is talking about all these people moving over there like, God called me and go take my family over there. Like, this is what's going on with in the Christian world. I don't know about Muslims, but in the Christian world, you got God supposedly calling, or Jesus calling a lot of people, go over these countries, set up these churches, and then where they'll kill them at. So die for Christ. Die for Christ. So that's a discipleship. So we were saying, I signed up to die. Oh, die. Oh, die. Oh, yeah. That's what we used to be member ride with. So I signed. So when in high school, when I learned about God myself, it was just in the intimacy of God and the relationship of God. When I got to Pine Bluff, I learned, okay, go get some people. We some warrior discipleship. Sounded that, oh, we like some little warriors. Okay, we some warriors, oh, go get the people, evangelize the whole world, y'all. They were teaching us to evangelize the whole world. Confusion. Okay. So before I move on to this last part, one more thing about Pine Bluff, because I gotta tell y'all where my stuff coming from. So my childhood, right? I told y'all about my childhood. It was a good childhood, right? I said that, but I said I was around a lot of drugs and all that stuff. I didn't say none of that stuff was bad, drugs and none of that stuff. But it was a good life to me. But when I got to Pine Bluff too, like I said, we was evangelizing people, and I said I was really living a good life. So in the midst of me living my good life in God's fashion, like the New Testament says about Jesus, when you're living a life, you know, you draw people. Man, this one guy came up to me from Memphis, Tennessee. Darnell, you remember me, bro? He said, like, I forgot what he told me, but somehow he didn't feel like he was the right person to start the Bible study because he was in the streets of whatever Darnell was doing. He was like, he was just coming to me kind of like for some kind of clarification or just kind of what you think about it. Just like, yeah, brother, start it. And so he started this Bible study. This young man from the streets, Darnell, from Memphis, Tennessee, Darnell, started this Bible study at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, class of 2009, freshman plex, in the freshman complex. He started a Bible study. So now I'm seeing God working, and so everything was just working out for me, man. And God was seeing God do everything. God was showing me, man, this young man from Memphis, Tennessee had all these young freshmen from freshmen. This is a HBCU, so you have people from all over the country, everywhere. DC, Memphis, Chicago, East St. Louis, fucking California, New York, Detroit, Atlanta, all these people there in this telling their stories, y'all. Young folks, 19, 18-year-olds, talking about they've been raped. These young boys getting up too, talking about they've been raped. Young girls getting up too, talking about they've been raped by uncles, brothers, mamas, dads, everybody. Get what I'm saying? And so a big part about Pine Bluff that I didn't tell y'all what I learned was pain. Pine Bluff was the first part. I was a 17-year-old boy and didn't know nothing about rape. Pine Bluff, Arkansas, University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff was the first place I heard about rape or learned about just what, like, oh, people been raped. All these kids are being raped. Everybody got raped. And so, grace. And then another part about that, Dr. Janetta McSwain, my cousin sent me an audio CD one time. I'm a junior in University of Arkansas Pine Bluff at this time. An audio of a woman now at this point, but a woman telling her story about how she was raped as a little girl, her sister, and her little boy cousin by all her mama's brothers, young brothers, teenage brothers. She said they should run through them, all of them. Then her grandma's brother, who was in a wheelchair, used to make her as a little girl sit in her lap and have sex with her, throwing out on the porch. So I'm a junior in college listening to this as a CD. I had a CD player as a junior in college at the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff in Johnson & Johnson, fucking dormitories. I'm in it with audio. I should listen to it every night. So this is me as a Christian man getting drowned with people's pain around me. Remember, I had a good childhood. I said I've been to jail, but that was my fault. Everything I've been through in my life and all the pain, it was not saying all the pain, but all the trouble, it was my fault. I put all the trouble I've been through, it was my fault. But all these people that I was meeting from Memphis, Tennessee, everywhere around the country, all these young folks, it wasn't their fault. It wasn't your fault that you was raped. Andre, I remember you. I'm thinking about your face right now. There's a girl that was from DC who said she got, I can't think of her name, and I still remember you. I remember you. It's been over 10 years later, I still remember you. Let's keep going. So he's like, what does that mean? So fast forward, part 3, last part. George Floyd, the last part of my story on why I decided to create this platform to help change the world and for me. George Floyd. So at the end of Pine Bluff, like I said, by the time my senior year at Pine Bluff, I had some sex. And so I was slowly, and all that confusion that was going on, me seeing all these different denominations within the churches, and even Baptist, me like, I'm Baptist, I died Baptist, because my dad, okay, your dad's, okay, Baptist, whatever. Okay, we supposed to be for Christ, one in unity, right? Okay, whatever. So I got all of that. So I'm transitioning from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I was an agriculture business major. I didn't want to do agriculture, so I decided, okay, I'm going to go to grad school. So I went to grad school at Alabama A&M, Huntsville, Alabama. So joined the military. And so by the time I got in the military, let me tell y'all about Alabama before I move on, fast forward too quick. So another part of the confusion when I went to Alabama, the very first confusion I ran into. And by this time, I started back having sex and everything now. So I'm back having sex and everything, but I was still going to church. Man, I went to this Bible study with these young group of people trying to still be a disciple and disciple people, whatever. Man, they got on them out of all the stuff. No, I don't even think I was having sex at this. But was I? Yeah, I was still trying to live for God. And man, these young folks told me. So I got baptized when I was like 6 years old, a young man. I only got baptized. I woke up and got pushed up there by my grandma because all the other young kids got baptized like the Sunday before. That's why I got baptized. It wasn't about because I believe in God. I was too young. And so these motherfuckers, so I forgot which church what denomination they out there too. Church of Christ, it's probably the same one. Church of Christ or Church of God. It's Kojic. So Kojic, Church of Christ, whichever one y'all, one of them believe if you ain't baptized again, you gotta be baptized again. You gotta be baptized to be saved. Whichever church believes you gotta be baptized to be saved. I know it's in the Bible, but they take it to heart. You see, a lot of churches take that. Remember the church that say if you don't go to our church, you pretty much going to hell. Remember, because it's Jesus said in the Bible, and they took it to heart. Then you got this church over here saying, what the hell I'm talking about now? So if you're not baptized, whether you believe in God or not, if you miss that baptism, you might be going to hell. So this is what I seen with the Christians. So then I joined the military. I learned about brotherhood, just having each other back, a little more about the militant stuff and all this stuff, and just brotherhood, and more brotherhood and union. And I'm like, so I I didn't say I fell away from God at this point, but I was just like, I was still going to church. I wasn't cussing out God, but it's like, I don't know about this Jesus thing. It wasn't even that. It was like, something ain't right. So I'm going to put a date on it. So I'm going to say I lost Jesus, or I call myself being, when this confusion hit me, let's say 2014. I'm going to say when I joined the military. The day I joined the military, 2014, I guess I said, fuck it, what's up, God? And so you had this young man who had this intimate relationship with God, very intimate. I was asking for things that was happening. I wasn't complaining about nothing, bro. It been times where I felt like I was having such a spiritual moment. I would close my eyes in bed, man. I feel like God was coming there. He would come in there and just come down and hug me and stuff like that. There's some very real stuff going on with me, bro. And so I went from having all that intimate relationship with God, and then going to Pine Bluff, Arkansas, raising money, not having sex with women, because I grew up a dog. I love women. I want to have sex with women. And I missed all my college experience of having sex with women because I was living for God, living for Jesus. So fast forward, I'm doing all this for God and Jesus to find out something is wrong. So all my fire, all that fire I had for God and Jesus, got to 2014. 2014, I was like, something's wrong. And then, now to transition to the next part, 2014 all the way to 2022, George Floyd. So 2014 all the way to George Floyd death. So I say 2022. I think he died actually 2021, but it was 2022 where I think the trial and stuff was going on. Yeah, I think the trial was going on in 2022, and that's when I actually learned about it, George Floyd. So from 2014 to George Floyd, so that's like 2014. That's like 8 years, a span of 8 years. What's going on? Lost There was a church sermon. I went to church today, y'all. And in the church sermon, it said, it was talking about Jesus come back home. And talking about the lost sheep. So over 8 years, I consider myself lost because all these people, all like, it's been a good intimate, all the denomination, all the people that posted be my brothers told me now, oh yeah, man, you ain't doing good, but you're not saved because you just need to be baptized. Oh man, you're not saved because you just need to go on thing. You need to change this and you go to this church. Oh, you're not like, so I'm like, I'm not saved because I need to get with your organization. I'm not saved because I know the Bible says that, but the Bible also says this other thing too. So I'm like, what Bible you read? Because you got a lot of people to I believe in the whole Bible. And I would challenge anybody, any church denomination that say they believe in the whole Bible. Me, Terrain Morrow, would like to challenge you on this platform and test your skills on how you believe in the whole Bible. But fast forward. So I lost my God. So all that fire. So imagine this young man, look at me. I still look like I'm on fire, don't I? So imagine this young man on fire for God. Oh, God, Jesus, I should be shaking sometimes. You know people be shaking. We got the Holy Spirit be shaking. Yeah, I should do that all the time. Be shaking. Holy Spirit, that's the Holy Spirit be shaking. Yeah, I should do that all the time, right? So I had all that fire to fast forward like, dang, something's wrong. And so what I had to do now, I had to bottle up all that fire. And what y'all didn't realize that fire was, and what they remember, they taught me with discipleship. I got intimacy with God, so I actually fell in love with God outside of the church. And then I got involved with the church and learned about discipleship. So y'all remember me in Pine Bluff when I used to sell them cookies and how they was good. And I used to get rid of them big old box of cookies so fast. So the thing about me is when I like if something's good, I like to give it to people. That's a good thing. When something's good, I like to give it to people. So now I'm like, all that good I used to get and all that grace I had all my life, where did it come from? Because at first I thought it was God. But now everything is around me to add to the confusion. I get back into the world and stuff. And I'm glad I did get back into work because for now I can see what everybody's dealing with all this confusion. From astrology and zodiac, every goddamn thing. It's so much stuff. So I'm like, so I had to bottle up all that fire. So right now, you see a young man with a bunch of bottled up fire that the church gave to me. Oh, let me keep saying that because the church gave to me. The church gave to me. You have a bottled up young man that the church did this to. Church of God in Christ did this to me. Church of Christ did this to me. The Methodist Church did this to me. Seventh-day Adventists did this to me. The Catholic Church did this to me. Jehovah's Witnesses did this to me. There's some more. Who else we got? Undenominational did this to me. Oh, non-denominational did this to me. It's too many. It's a more church. I want to name y'all out. Oh, Mormon. Remember Mormon? Oh, Mormon did this to me. Oh, Mormon. Black Israelites did this to me. Because what happened with George Floyd, y'all. And remember I said George Floyd was kind of like helped me birth the ER. Because during George Floyd, you had this young man who I never really watched TV too. Oh, yo, another thing about me leaving home. Once I left home, I really kind of stopped watching TV. I was always out in the church, doing something in the church or doing something with the ministry. TV, I didn't have no TV. So, fast forward to George Floyd. This is about what, 2022? I'm dating this girl. And now I'm in her house every day. She watches TV. She has the news on every day that I'm coming over her house. The news at this time was on George, whatever his damn name is. Not George. I ain't talking about, I'm talking about the other guy, the guy that killed him. Derek. My bad. Derek. Not George. George Floyd. I wasn't disrespecting George Floyd. I'm talking Derek, that guy. George Floyd, though. All I'm seeing, though. So this is this young man who's got all this fire for Christ pent up, right? So all I knew was discipleship. The world was suffering. People was being raped. So remember all them rape stories I told you I was getting balled up in and listening to this audio of this lady every day telling me how she'd been raped. But then Her success, though, I forgot to tell you about Dr. Janetta McSwain. She went through all that rape, and now she's a doctor and being paid to tell her story. So boom. So now I know about coming from the bottom. I know about coming from the bottom, made it to the top. I know about it. I don't even gotta live it, because I done seen it through everybody else, and that's a good thing about why I like. And we don't talk about God right now, but I lost my train of thought. So I thank God. So George Floyd happened. So you had this young man with all this pent up fire. Now, in watching no TV, I know about Black history and all this stuff, marching. I know about what everything's going on, but I'm not involved. And so George Floyd was the first time this young man actually became involved. And that was just simply by watching TV. Because while I'm watching this, I'm like, how in the world could y'all try to justify, even any prosecutor, any lawyer, try to justify this man that he didn't kill this man with his knee, that he didn't suffocate this man with his knee? Talking about it was meds, it was drugs, it was a prior condition. What? No, it's not. When you got your knee on his back of his neck, hands behind his back, he's saying I can't breathe, and you ain't letting up. He's saying I can't breathe. If I'm telling you I can't breathe, and you're not letting up, no matter whether I'm having a panic attack or not. If you got handcuffs on me and I'm in the back of a police car, I say I'm having a panic attack, like I'm claustrophobic, and people die from that. We think that's how one of them girls died. Them twins that's on there. They showed us on TV about them girls that was locked up, them two sisters. But we don't talk about that. So you have this young man with all this pent up fire, don't know what to do with it. George Floyd is happening. So George Floyd happened. This is what happened with George Floyd. I started to seek God again. So from 2014 to George Floyd, over 8 years, I haven't prayed. That's what I'm saying. So over 8 years, I haven't prayed. Just like searching, like I'm lost. Over 8 years, come back home, Terrain. So over 8 years, I was lost. And God was still just gracious to me. Gracious to me. So a big part about my story and why I'm doing this platform is grace. Because all my life, remember, I said my childhood was good. I seen other people suffering. I seen other people going through, all the other young folks. And then I told myself walking away from God or whatever, the universe. And then I looked up my head and people are still suffering on TV. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I guess my spirit in me said, what can I do about it? Because I don't remember me verbally saying, I want to do something about George Floyd. I want to do something about that. I guess my spirit and that old discipleship person that the church put in me came back up. And this little mystical thing happened. Some of y'all probably can explain it as Paul on the Damascus Road when he was going to kill the Christians. But then the disciple, Jesus came down with the shining light, and he was blind, and he seen the light, and he came over to be a Christian. So a moment like that happened to me, where everything made sense. Remember Paul said everything made sense? At that moment, everything made sense. I'm crying, and God told me, Terrain, or whoever, my great self, or God, or I am, or whoever the universe said, Terrain, one. The whole world is one. God wants everybody. And I'm glad I went to church today, because this message of the lost sheep brings this message home, because she said, Jesus said in the Bible, not she said, not the pastor, there's a female pastor today, but Jesus said in the Bible, whether you believe in Jesus or not, but in the Bible, it said, if I have 100 sheep and I lose one, I'm down to 99. But he said, when I lose that one, he said, I'm going to go back to get it. And so a part I didn't even never call, he said, I'm going to leave the 99 in the wilderness. So that was the wilderness where other people to eat the wolves and whatever, to eat them up and everything. He said, I'm going to leave them in the wilderness. It's 99, but he said, I'm going back to get the one. So at that moment during George Floyd and all me watching that trial day by day, one day God came to me and said, Terrain, this is what everything means. I want everybody. I want the whole world to be one. He said, don't worry about that racism stuff. Don't worry about all this confusion. Only thing that matters is one. Everybody is your brothers and sisters. And so that's kind of what came to me at George Floyd. Now, that has shaped a lot since then. Because George Floyd was over 5 years ago. Remember, today is the anniversary of his death. That was also now, from George Floyd to now. Oh, we're finna get to the what's next part soon. So from George Floyd to now, yeah, it's 3 o'clock, that's fine. So from George Floyd to now, that the coming one has been being shaped. And so from that, the being shaped part developed, the ER developed. God said, this terrain, this is what you can do. Or the universe or whoever said, this is what you can do to help bring the world one. The ER, y'all. So this platform was created to help change the world. And if I'm right, if the universe is right, if there's a God, there's a Jesus, this platform is supposed to work. This platform is supposed to change the world, y'all. This platform is supposed to make all of us one. And I've seen visions. So the scary part about it, I've seen visions of it. And that's why I guess I've been taking me so long to get back with it. Because it's like the whole shaping of that thing after George Floyd, it was like God was telling me, and it shaped into this. This is what it has shaped into. I kind of said it earlier, like we're all brothers and sisters. Nobody's above anybody. Put that in other terms, you're all gods. So imagine then you're children of God. So imagine we're all children of God, and there's a God or universe, whatever you may think it to be. Imagine you cheating a child bad. Imagine you cheating, and then God walks up on you cheating your brother and sister bad. You're in trouble, right? It seems like God didn't even broke this thing down to me, y'all. There's no laws. There's no rules. How are there laws and there rules with God? Which is why people put, I guess, the Godhead on there. Because people will follow it. If people know there's a head, they'll follow it. But the truth behind the story may be is that you are the head. I keep trying to avoid it, but it seems like the universe keeps telling me that you are the head, like everybody individually. And then it makes sense it lines up with the Bible. And it's not even contradictory from the Bible or the Quran or whatever you believe in, because it says we're children of God. Which means we definitely shouldn't be under man rule, which means you really need to take a very deep dive into what God's rule is and what he is, because there's a great chance that you might be following just a regular man's rule. For example, I was thinking, I'm going to just say this, and I'm going to end this, so we'll say what's next. So, Yahweh, right? Y'all know the name Yahweh, that they call God Yahweh? I was thinking about this. And one of the things that happened to me in the shaping since George Floyd was God brought up his name Yahweh. And it was this year. He said, Teray, they said Yahweh means, they got the name Yahweh from just the breath. He said, Terrain, think about that. He said, so you telling me God came down and said, you know me as Yahweh the breath. That makes sense though, but he said, man, it seemed like the universe was telling me, he said, man, they never knew who the hell God was. He said they never seen him, never knew who he was. He said that's the great thing about him. He said even the aliens, if there's aliens, if you believe in aliens, guess what? If the aliens created you, it don't matter because somebody created them. And guess what? That's the person. Or nature. Seems like it's just nature. What if God is just nature? And that's very scary to me. Which is why you need to really search deep. That's all going back to that confusion. This is why all that confusion got me at. I don't even know who my God is no more. If y'all like what I'm talking, so everything I'm talking, I'm not talking. So I just told y'all my story. Those are all facts. Everything I'm talking from this point on, y'all can check out. This is just me, a black man, ranting on what's finna be next. Because what the church, because all that searching, also what happened to George Floyd, I had got some answers on what to do to help the world. But at the same time, I got the points of, everybody always point fingers at people. And God showed me some other solutions too on how, how people like started from the bottom. Some people like me go like, we got there real quick to the top. And some people take a long time to get to the top. But God showed me, yeah, that works for me too. You remember the children of Israel, it took them 40 years and they was kept walking through the wilderness 40 years. He said they didn't supposed to take that long. He said you can get straight to the top and get to some things real quick. And he said, with all this chaos in the world, he said the church can end it real quick if they just come together and all denominational stuff. Church is one of those groups. He said Spike Lee and Nick Cannon might have been on to something too. Remember that Chirac, the movie Chirac? If women get together and stop giving all the man the coochie, and they're disciplining the world. And he said the world will get back together. He said that might actually work. Spike Lee, Nick Cannon, yeah, women. That might, y'all just close the leg. That might actually work. Because this whole thing, what I'm trying to say, y'all, God really wants the world to come together. And another thing I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to create any organization, any business, just for your people, just your sect, it ain't gonna stand. Let me not say that, because what it's led to, I think I want to turn this into an organization, into some type. It's an organization, but it's some type of sect or to some type of gang or whatever. Not a violent gang, but everybody. So I realized that almost everything is a gang. Like even the government, and I think we all realize that by now. Every little organization, they own little crimes, their own little crimes and whatever. They got their own little sex, do things, mistreat people and whatsoever. But what's next? What did I write down? So I thank God. What's next? So, what's next? Take your time, Terrain. So, what's next? So I said I'm doing this organization for me. And the only why, so I said I'm doing this organization to change the world and for me. And for me part, I just threw that in because once again I said because of the church and because of all the, I'm not saying just the Christian group, Muslims, y'all too, every religious organization in this world, because I've been kind of dibbling and dabbling all of y'all now, all of y'all for not coming together like y'all should and ignoring the good old word and the commander's intent. So in the military, before I say the part, so in the military, when a brigade or any type of group is going on a mission, you have a commander. So the commander is the person, the head dog in charge. And within that op order, he passes down the op order to say, this is the mission. And within that op order, you have a commander's intent. This is pretty much to say, so the basis of that is, if all shit hits the fan, and nobody don't know what the hell to do, if everybody die, this is the commander's intent. So if that's kill bin Laden, so say we got one group that's gonna deliver trucks, but say everybody else they die, so this other people's mission is gonna jump up to killing bin Laden. So that's the top mission. Out of all the religious organizations in the world, and all the gods, all the natures in the universes, whatever you believe in, all the atheists and the devil, I guess y'all excluded, but be one. Y'all really letting dresses stop us from being together? Y'all are letting drugs stopping us from being together? The one thing God is showing me that people are going through all these different struggles and stuff. But one thing God showed me through my family, that when you don't judge them, you can help that person bounce back. Because a lot of times people all they need is a little love, a little tug. But it's not there a lot of times because we're judging them. Or that person may be locked away because of a mistreatment. So what's next for the ER? And when I wrote this down, I said I had to specifically put for the ER. Because I was going to first exclude myself from the ER and like say, I'm going to separate Terrain from the ER. But no, Terrain is all the ER. And I told myself, if this is not God, if this is not the universe telling me to do this, then I'm doing it just because it's me. And why do I got to do it? Do the ER just because it's me? Because since George Floyd, since 2014, when I called myself losing God, it's 2025, baby. So 2014, so 2024 was 10 years, right? So it's 2025. It's going to be going on 11 years, y'all. I've been depressed. So I've got to do the ER. And I've had to step up now. George Floyd, Thank you for encouraging me again. You encouraged me to start this organization. And right now, because of your death and because I was sitting in the barber chair and I seen it was your anniversary and I didn't back down this time, I said, I'm going to do this today. And this day, I got to keep going strong. I got to keep going forward. Because why? I'm doing this for me because I'm dying. And I ain't talking about from cancer or nothing like that. My dreams are dying. I'm dying mentally. I've been depressed. And it's getting so bad now, God, it's like, seems like the universe is telling me, like, it's like I want to do, or me want to do this so bad that if I don't do it, I'm going to stay depressed, y'all. If y'all been seeing me on my posts lately, if y'all been seeing any of my posts since 2014, over 11 years, if you thought I've been happy and there was joy, that's me in the depressed state. I remember when I was in Pine Bluff, I was real happy in Pine Bluff. It's a real genuine happiness. So I have to do this for me because I've lost my real, true, genuine happiness. Haven't had it in a while. And God's telling me it's because the world, it's because, Terrain, you really want to bring the world together. It's because what the church did to you. And until you get answers, Terrain, you're not going to be happy until you get answers. So I guess the ER is here to get answers, y'all. So what's next? So the last show I did, it was at the inauguration. I said, I went back and looked at it. You know, I get on my rant, where I took notes. I go on my rants, and I was telling myself why. Oh, no, I was looking at the video, and I was like, dang, I said I wasn't going to church no more. I told everybody on that video, stop going to church. Pretty much protest the church. I went to church today, and so what I realized what I'm going to do next, what's going to happen next. Don't stop going to church. You ain't got to stop going out of church. I'm not going to even stop asking nobody to stop going to church because I don't even want to stop going to church. But I got a video on my phone, right? So what's next for the ER? What's next for the ER? About to post a video. Yeah, we're about to post that video. We're about to finally post that video. And it's in regards to basically everything I'm talking about, all the confusion and the depressive state that I am now, and all the answers that I'm looking for. I'm about to show y'all that live footage. And it's on the black, so it's me and the black Israelites, just to put y'all out there. Well, I guess based on what they say, I'm a black Israelites too. Well, it's me and some of my guests, since we was arguing, it's me and some of my confused brothers. One of us confused. And I'm going to post that video. And then something else is going to come from that video. And I think we're going to try to keep the ER going Sunday, but I might do some pop-up shows. There's some people out here. I told my story. Ain't looking for no more stories today. Anybody got anything they want to say? So what's next for the ER? I'm going to post a video. And I ain't going to say too much about it right now. Because I might go off the hinges. And so I'm going to post a video. And we're going to go from there. Thank y'all for tuning in. The ER, a platform for the world to share its story in order to bring hope to people all around the world, that the world may know that it's not alone in confusion and suffering. Also, to bring an end to the waste of life and to promote mental well-being. Yeah. What's up? Yeah. Well, we're going to go for this. So, would you follow the ER? Where we go from this? So, based on, we're going to end with this. I think I said it before. So, I guess if this is of God, the universe, or whatsoever, or my mind and my visions are accurate, this organization, the ER, the emergency room, should actually change the world. If not, let's see what happens. Y'all have a good day.